Is there anything President Trump could do to lose your support?
Today, no. I want him to have a chance to go back and finish.
Is there anything he could do to lose your support?
No,
Nothing at all.
nothing at all.
Anything he could do to lose your vote?
Not at this time, no, I don't think so.
Is there anything Donald Trump could do that would cost him your vote?
No, because we need that. Because yeah.
It's a witch hunt, so nobody's going to change.
Nobody is going to change. There is nothing Trump could do to lose our support. Those were MAGA maniacs interviewed recently in Iowa. TYT's Michael Shure covered the caucuses and found that the Trump supporters still see the former president as a godlike figure who can do absolutely no wrong.
President Trump were to lose again, what would that mean for you?
I don't even want to think about it. God gave him to us once before. I think he'll save us again.
What happens to the country were he to lose in November?
I think that we would lose our country. I think we'd lose our country, and then in doing that, we would lose our world.
In what way?
We're not going to have the freedoms that we naturally have, under, firstly, our civil liberties, but then secondly, under the Constitution.
I really feel like if Donald Trump loses, we're going to be run by more globalists that don't have America's best interests at heart. And I think that's what a lot of Trump supporters are scared of. And that's why a lot of people came out tonight and supported him. So that's what I think most Americans, not just me, but most Americans are scared of.
What would it mean to you if the former president lost to President Biden in November?
Well, I don't believe that that's going to happen, and I think that President Trump wins any fair election, and that's all I have to say on that. In any fair election, President Trump wins.
In other words, it's like that rigged coin flip. Heads, Trump wins. Tails, Biden loses. If Trump actually wins the 2024 election, then the vote was fair. If Trump loses the election, the vote was rigged. There is a circular logic to the Trump crowd where being wrong is never a possibility. And the MAGA maniacs, for all of their misinformation, have the far-right talking points down pat.
What are the freedoms that this administration has taken from you?
A huge thing, and I'm going to bring up the human trafficking issue because it's a huge issue. And that just being one, huge, because we've got victims all over the place that are never getting justice for things that happen to them. And, those freedoms and those liberties for those people to be safe, it's not okay that those rights have been taken from those people. And Trump is a very, very strong advocate and supporter in victims' rights.
Donald Trump is a supporter of victims' rights, including people who are being sexually trafficked. Never mind, of course, that a judge and a jury have found that Donald Trump raped a woman, and more than a dozen other women have accused Trump of sexual assault. Donald Trump is also facing 91 felony charges for election interference, inspiring the January 6th insurrection, and taking classified documents to his Florida golf club, exposing America's most sensitive nuclear secrets and lists of spies. But in MAGA world, it's all fake news and an effort by a corrupt deep state in Washington and beyond.
Indicted on 91 counts. What if he's convicted? He's an innocent man right now. What if he's convicted?
Heard about the Georgia thing? The lady, the district attorney that brought all those charges has a boyfriend she put on the payroll. So that whole thing's a mess.
Because she put someone on the payroll?
Her boyfriend. And then they've been going on lavish trips around the country.
But it was a grand jury that handed down the indictment.
She appointed all the grand jury, too. They know all this. It's in the records. The people of Georgia that investigated, they've investigated the whole thing. No, and plus, they were colluding with D.C.
Then we have the January 6th committee.
Boy.
Do you think January 6th should be a holiday? And do you hold the president responsible for January 6th? What happened?
No, because I think he tried to send out a thing over the cell phone, and they'd shut him off.
I think D.C. is corrupt. I don't like what I see when I look at Washington. So I'm really for someone going in there. And I think the word swamp and deep state, establishment, uniparty.
What does deep state mean to you?
That's the question. It seems to me, when I see the word uniparty, I think there are people in our government who really do not see a Republican idea, a Democrat idea, a platform here, a platform there. I think it's very hard when a bunch of lawmakers get together and control a country and forget about the people that are supposed to go out to D.C. and speak for us. and they stay forever. We don't have term limits. So to me, a deep state is just an entrenched body of elite people who the rumor is, or if you want to do the paperwork, I suppose you could find out how much all of those people are worth by the time they leave. But it seems to me there are no common men.
No common men like Donald Trump, a man of the people.
I believe in the man. I think I've always believed in his character. I mean, he came out and ran for office. He's a billionaire. He has no interest financially in this.
No interest financially, except to benefit financially from the presidency. And according to some accounts, Donald Trump leveraged the office to the tune of hundreds of millions of dollars for the Trump organization. But in MAGA world, up is down is up, and only Donald Trump is to be believed.
Make America great again. What does that mean to you? What's the again?
To me, the again means that we have somewhere safe where we can have those freedoms that we are so lucky to enjoy. There are so many people throughout the world that do not have what we have, and it is a blessing. That's why we have people that want to be here, and we will fully encompass all of that greatness again.
When did we last have it, if it's again?
I feel like we did have that when President Trump was in office. I feel like we can work with what he built on in the first presidency and make it even better.
When he was running in 2016, it was before he'd even been president, but he was still saying, make it great again. Again from when?
That is a good question. I would say if I could guess, it would be, and I think that they're very politically lined up, would be maybe with JFK. And when he was president, and what we embodied with some optimism and freedoms that we didn't have before, and trying to find that.
Make America great again. It's been his mantra since he's run in 2015. What does that mean? What is again? When was America great?
Well, that question right there says everything that I need to know about you, that you don't really think America was ever great at any time. I think America was great. The spirit, the whole purpose for America was about the American spirit, coming here and making something for yourself and having the opportunity to do that for yourself, to work hard. And that's what America is all about. So the people that hate America will always say, well, when was it ever great? It's just not a very good attitude to have, in my opinion.
And when was that lost in your estimation?
I think a lot of it was lost when the Federal Reserve took over the money system.
Yes, the Federal Reserve ruined America. Kudos to TYT's Michael Shure for his professionalism, for staying calm, and for getting the MAGA folks to talk on camera. For all of the frustrations many of us have with the MAGA movement, it's important to recognize that the feelings in the MAGA world, as misguided and misinformed as those views may be, those feelings are authentic. And for many of these folks, Donald Trump is literally their savior.
Anything that the former president could do to lose your support?
Right now, absolutely nothing.
By the way, the former president, Donald Trump, seems to be having a flurry of challenges lately involving cognitive decline.
By the way, they never report the crowd on January 6th. You know, Nikki Haley is in charge of security. We offered her 10,000 people.
Check out that video at the link below. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us.